Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Here behind the velvet rope and at the Sarah Fraser Show, we have spent hours and hours and hours talking about Jen Shah. The media has spent hours and hours and hours talking about Jen Shah. There was a special, The Housewife and the Shah Shocker, talking about Jen Shah. The amount of time that people have talked about the victims or have heard from the victims directly is less than 2% of all the media attention. And today, we hope to change that. We welcome one of Jen's victims, Miss Penny Pucket.
Hi,
Welcome.
Penny.
Thank you.
Penny, thank
Welcome.
you for being here. Yeah, David and I are honored.
Well, I'm glad that I could make the time to come and do this with you.
Well, Penny, first we wanted to just ask you in general, like how you're doing. How are you?
Um, I'm doing good. Um, it was a struggle there for a while, but we're managing.
How did this, I like to start right at the beginning. Like, how did this start? Like, was it a phone call? Did you answer an ad? Like, how did the scam actually start? Did someone call you?
The scam actually started when I was trying to figure out how to market my blankets on social media type deals. And so I enrolled in a $97 course um, to learn how to do that. Then after I did that, then I started getting bombarded with all of these calls. Um, and then it just got way out of hand. They wanted to do websites for me. They wanted to provide me with more education that would uh, help me to market my product better, my blankets better. Um, and I just kept getting so many calls. And then there was a lot of them, that promised me that they would, within a week, I'd be making $1,000, and nothing ever happened. But I'd spent a lot of money in order to get nowhere.
Penny, you kind of touched on it. It was about your blankets, but why'd you even click on that ad? Were you, was it a side hustle? Did you really need money for retirement? Like what kind of with your blankets, it sounds like it was more than just a hobby. You wanted to make a business out of it.
Yeah, we owned a farm, and the farm wasn't doing very good. And I was trying to figure out a way of making some extra money um, so that I could kind of help support um, our farm, because everything that we was making on the farm was going back into the farm, and there was we were shorting ourselves on living expenses. And so that's how it started. I was actually looking for something that I could do from home, be flexible, so that if I needed to help run errands or something for parts on the farm, that I would be free enough to do that.
Mm-hmm.
How much was that initial investment?
$97.
Wow. And okay, so you paid the 97, and then you mentioned this that they really kind of started pretty much immediately, right? Calling. When you say they were calling a lot, like how many calls a day? How many calls a week?
Oh, I would probably say I would get at least one call a day. Sometimes it was, two or three. Um, but yeah, probably an average about a one a day.
And was it always from the same person? Was it like many different people?
Oh no, there was many different companies that was calling.
Uh-huh.
And I finally would just tell them, I'm already dealing with this one. And some of them, they would kind of talk back poorly about the company that I was working with. Um, it was just kind of like I'm better than them. Come with me, and we'll make it work.
And
Um,
wow.
and then
No,
I did go with a couple different companies. But then when the first one found out that I was working with this other company, they got mad. And I said, well, you wasn't providing what you promised either. but they know how to get you, because the first company had me do a money transfer on my credit card. I
Oh.
learned later that those are not disputable with your credit card.
Oh, and I actually didn't even know you could do this. What is that? A wire transfer on your credit card. So if I have
Yeah.
a Visa or an American Express, I've never even had anybody ask me to do this. What happened?
No.
Yeah, you can do it. It's just like a money transfer, like it was going from your checking account into somebody else's checking account. But this was through your credit card. It come from your credit card into their bank account. But if you do money transfers, then you can't dispute it with the credit card company.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that either. How soon after that initial $97 did they then start asking for more money?
Well, each time you started with one of these other companies, it was $1,000 here. There was 2,500 there. There was 9,000 in another one. To build websites and to set up your Google or your marketing, where it would direct it to the website and all of that. It was just, one thing after another. You needed a website, then you needed this to draw the people to the website, and then you needed an LLC. And I mean, they had a whole package all put together, and some of the companies would actually direct you to these other companies.
And Penny, at first, because they actually provided you courses, right? You pay this $97. What would they do? Email you? They'd email you like how to get started and online in marketing your quilts.
Yeah. And then they would there was one course that was the next phase, that there was actually, I had people that I would get on with, and they would give me I guess, if that's what you call it, instruction, and then give you homework assignments. Well, then I would do those homework assignments, and I'd tell them, when the next meeting was, well, I didn't get any response from what you told me to do. And then they accused me of not doing my homework. So that's how they were getting around all of it.
Now, at first, like, what was your emotional state like when you first started? You're doing the courses. Okay, maybe they like accuse you of not doing your homework, but I mean, at this point, are you pretty optimistic? Like, all right, well, this is going to work. I'm going to keep this process going.
Well, with any business, there's a certain amount of investment that you've got to make into a business in order to make it work. A startup cost, or whatever you want to call it. And
Sure.
so at first I didn't think a whole lot about